Hi, I'm Jeff Anclem from Waterstone Mortgage, and welcome to our Waterstone Weekly Update. This week, Renee Read from Remley Sensenbrenner has graciously shared her time with us to give us some tips on real estate. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself, Renee?
Certainly. Thank you for having me. I'm Renee Read, as you mentioned. I've been practicing for about 9 years. As you mentioned, our firm, it's in Neenah, and part of my practice has been family law. So I've noticed a lot of different things over the last 9 years within family law.
When do people typically contact you, Renee?
Well, I've noticed over the last few years that more and more people are going without divorce representation. That's called pro se. And so when I hear from those people, it's typically when the divorce is already done and they've run into some problems because they haven't properly addressed the real estate in their judgment of divorce or marital settlement agreement.
All right. So why is real estate important in a divorce?
Well, real estate is usually one of the most significant assets in a marital estate. So when you're talking about dividing up in a marital estate, you have to really account for the actual value of the real estate and dealing with the related issues of indebtedness or the mortgage.
So how do you typically come to value real estate in a divorce situation?
Well, our preference is to have an appraisal. An appraisal, it can be a binding valuation, but some clients cannot afford an appraisal, or if, like I mentioned, they could be pro se individuals, then they can turn to a market analysis, which can be done by a realtor, and that's normally at no charge.
How does refinancing work into a divorce situation?
Well, I always recommend if there's going to be one party keeping the real estate and the other party is being bought out, essentially, that the indebtedness or a mortgage be refinanced as part of the judgment of divorce. So you want to make sure that after the divorce is over and you're not keeping the real estate, that your name is no longer associated with that debt.
Okay, and then how is the real estate transferred in that situation?
Real estate would be transferred by a quitclaim deed. My preference, again, is to have that signed at the time of the final hearing. But that's not always going to be the case. I also like to tie that in with the equalization payment or the buyout payment for the real estate or the overall marital estate. So I like to have all those things happen, if possible, at the time of the final hearing, so there's no loose ends.
Sure.
But that's not always possible because sometimes that buyout comes from the refinancing.
Well, I very much appreciate you taking your time out this morning and sharing your information with our viewers. Can you share your contact information with our viewers?
Absolutely. I made a lot of general statements. If anyone wants to talk to me personally, certainly situations differ for person to person. They can call me at 920-725-2601, or they can email me at the below email address.
Fantastic. Thanks again.
Thank you.